Hello everyone and welcome along to the channel on PGA Tour 2K25, and this is a little bit of a different video. This is a post commentary video, and as you'll see it's still a bit of a black screen at the moment. Here we go. This is the boot up phase of the game, obviously, as you can see. Now, the reason why I want to do this video, this is my very first round of today. Today being the 23rd of April, and it's just after 7 PM in the evening. So I got on just about an hour ago. And I said I'll record, well, not that I'll record, but I'll play the Daily Master in the ranked tours. And I said to myself, if it goes somewhat decent, I'll save the gameplay and I'll do this video and do a little sort of a walkthrough to it. So this is basically right from the boot up process. Now I have sped up some of the footage. I don't think I sped this bit up. I can't remember. No, I didn't. Before I started to do this commentary. Just so you can see, it's literally, I haven't edited anything out. The closest thing to editing anything out is just literally speeding up a couple of bits. That's cycling through the menus, like, because after I did a couple of bits, I went into the societies that I'm in, some of them that I know are finished, just to see if there was any VC ready to collect. So I just sped it up because the torturous length of time that it can take sometimes to get through the menus. 2K, please, can we? It's always been a problem with the game, and I predicted it was going to happen prior to release, that once the game launched it was going to really slow down. So I'm just kind of going through the menus here now at the moment, the challenges at the moment for the weekly quests and such, to see what we can earn from them. Is it going to be worth me while doing them? I meant to actually equip Ping Putter and I think it's Jordan as well, Jordan apparel, top or shoes or whatever you want to wear. I meant to actually do that and I completely forgot all about it, but however, I digress. I've actually lost my train of thought now. Yes, as I say, I didn't want to leave it out now. I just wanted to show you this is exactly what I do pretty much every time I get on the game myself. And the reason for this video is because every time a new game comes out, there's always people who are kind of fairly new to the franchise that will be struggling with it and be wondering how on earth are people shooting low scores. Now, spoiler alert, I don't top the leaderboards in this one. I do for PlayStation, but not for global across all platforms. But you will see that now in a minute. So here we go now. I'm going into the driving range. This is what I do every single time. Usually I just do 10, but I think I counted 12 or 13. I forgot to keep track and I said, oh wait, was that 3 or 4 swings that I've taken already? So this is where actually I first sped up some footage, so this is just going to go to like ×2 or something like that, just to speed through this, just so you can see it. So there you go. First swing, very worst first swing today, hooked it. Very bad contact. And then we get a perfect. And this is all just to warm up my thumb. Now I was playing with my controller, not wired, it was wireless, so through the Bluetooth. Usually I have it connected up directly to the PS5 and running through USB, the PS5 settings for it to run through USB rather than Bluetooth. It's a much better, you get a much more consistent swing from that. You don't have like the latency and any sort of delay where there might be interruptions with signal and stuff like that. Also as well, then the battery's not draining, because if your battery's draining, it's fighting more and more to get the signal. It can be a little bit off. I find it very inconsistent myself. I know a lot of other people do also. So that's basically all that I'm doing here, just doing a few warm-up swings just to get my thumb into a kind of rhythm. Sometimes I will do putts as well, but I said, screw it, I'm not going to do that today. So I can see now on the timeline that it's coming up to where I go back to normal speed on the video. So that should be, I think, like swing 11 there, something like that anyway. So it should be 1 or 2 more swings. But yeah, as I was saying anyway, that a lot of people are struggling. That is understandable. I mean, there are games where I struggle with, and I'd be wondering how on earth people are getting results that they get. But again, it's, hey, if they put in more time. I'll play, depending on the day. It could be the weekend, I might be able to get to play quite a while, good few hours each day or something like that, but sometimes I might only be able to get to play a couple of rounds. So I'm just going to speed this bit of footage up as well. This is where I say where I'm just going through the societies, and as you can see down the bottom right of the screen anyway, there's the little spinny circle there and the little signal thing above it, as it does take quite a while. So I'm just going down through. And by the way, while I'm here, the New Horizon there, just went past it. Angus, I will get around to doing a video of showcasing your society. I keep on forgetting about it. I do apologise if you are watching. But as you can see there, I didn't shoot the best in there. That was at 21 under. I think it was Peanut topped that one. Absolute beast of a player, that guy. That was in, yeah, that should have been Hog's Breath. I think that was in. I wasn't watching. Yeah, it should have been Hog's Breath. I think I'm going to go into Globo now. Now the global one is on Pro Swing, And that's another thing that I'll talk about, what can screw me over. Sometimes that was TaylorMade, sorry. Here's Hog's Breath. I didn't shoot the best in here either. Can't remember what she was. 12 under. Oh, there's Crosby about 18 under. So it wasn't too bad in there. That was, again, just played kind of quick. Which, again, that's another thing that screws me up. And now we're going back out again. And now the thing is, if I go and speed this footage up a little bit more, it's going to completely throw off my commentary. So I'm just going to leave it at ×2. But where are we now? So yeah, I think I just went down as far as Globo. I don't think I played any events in early 1981 Society. And that while I mentioned earlier as well, like earlier had done a video there not long ago, regarding because the way that so many people always jump to the conclusion of cheating, and he got a bit of flack for that, which is not really fair, to be honest. Because like, yes, there are cheaters in the game. There's cheaters in every single game, but it's a very, very small minority. There are so many of us that have been playing this franchise now for 10 years, since the golf club back in 2014. That's not even including all the old Tiger Woods games and any other golf games in between over all the years that we've been playing. And but straight away people are jumping to the conclusion that they're getting these scores, must be doing something. What's the word? Not legit anyway. We're not being legit and stuff like that. But here we are then. We're coming in, as you can see, it's Daily Master week 11 day 2. Now what I do here, I know I'm kind of jumping around. I don't have any script or anything like that for this commentary. It's just as I see it on the screen. So I'll probably jump back and forth between things. I do apologise. But as you see, I'm up in Condor anyway. I kind of left this sitting for a minute on this menu. I don't know why. I can't remember what I was doing. But all in all, between me doing those practice swings, here we go. All in all, between me doing those the practice swings on the driving range, it was a good few minutes. So as you see, even though I know it's going to be default settings, I come into full course, just have a scroll down. Yep, it's all default. Kind of refresh my brain as to what it is, go up to course details and see exactly what they are. So it's going to be firm, medium, fast. And I know we're going to be playing from the tips anyway. And I know the wind is default, so it could be low, it could be high, it could be medium, somewhere in between. So I know what to expect going into the round. But again, just to refresh my memory as to what the course is. Now we get down into the golf bag, and as you can see, I'm using the Hickory bag today as default bag 2. No fittings, no fittings, no fittings, no fittings. Haven't even finished leveling that one up all the way. No fittings again, still haven't finished doing that one up, and no fittings on the ball. That's the bag that we're going to be using, as the Hickory bag. There's only one bag that I have active at the moment that has all the fittings, that is actually the gold clubs, but I haven't used them for a while. I actually prefer, honestly, playing without the fittings. Play just fine, as you will see. Now I'm not going to spoil the score, but we'll kind of analyse as we go through. So here we go, we're getting ourselves into the round now. But again, yeah, going back to it, like, I mean, the golf club, the very first one in the franchise, I was shockingly bad starting off in that game, and I kind of started to get a little bit of a handle of it, learning to properly read the greens and all that. And I ended up learning then, more so when I joined, because I didn't play the golf club for very long before I got kind of uninterested in it, because I couldn't find any decent courses. I was always finding all these wacky, what some was the term, like Mickey Mouse courses and stuff like that, you know. And I wanted to play, like, fair enough, they weren't actual real life courses recreated in the game or anything like that, ones that would play like realistically and stuff. And then I think it was sometime in January, so I gave up playing the game. Can't remember exactly what month it came out in 2014, but I gave up on the game before the new year. And then it was just one night, early 2015, I believe, it was sometime in January, because I joined TGC Tours in February of 2015. I just decided, do you know what, screw it, I'm going to live stream. And I went on Twitch, this long before I started the YouTube channel. And I decided, I had a Twitch account and I live streamed it. And there was people coming in, wasn't many, obviously, I wasn't known. And it was, I cannot for the life of me remember who it was. A decent solid approach. Is this our first? Yeah, this is our first haul, isn't it? But yeah, it was just somebody happened to mention, have you heard of TGC Tours? You'll find great courses in there. And so went TGC Tours, signed up, and then I was live streaming whenever I could, live streaming the rounds, and I was slowly but surely getting better. People were giving me tips on what to do, and like how to calculate the elevation, the wind, so on and so forth, to read the putts, and gradually started to become better. And I was kind of floating in around about the maybe we'll range, say, 400 to 600 per round, and progressively getting better and better throughout the years of the golf club, then into the golf club 2, getting better again. The golf club 2 is where I started the channel. I ended up doing a gameplay tips and tricks sort of thing in that one. That's actually pretty much what kickstarted this channel, was that one. Then I started doing course playthroughs, TGC tours, rounds, stuff like that, and it's basically gone on from there. If you cycle back through, like, you'll see god awful videos. Most of my videos probably are still god awful, but I say it's just over. I say it's 10 years of playing this franchise alone, and I'll go on to analysing the actual round in a minute. I know, what are we on now? We're on hole 2. Hole 4. Gee, bloody hell, have I got this sped up as well? How long am I yapping on? But as you see, like, I'm 3 under. I'm 3 under already through 3. Now I could have gone for the green here. Actually, I'm kind of going off track a little bit again, but I could have gone for the green here, but I said this is my first round of the day. I'm not going to screw myself up and potentially slice it off into the water, or end up over in the left in some trouble, and then just be struggling to get up and down for a par. I'll just get up there with the 3 wood, get a spinner on there, nice and close. I see, leave myself a tap in birdie, get 4 under par. I did only get 1 eagle in the round. Sometimes I can get more. But again, where was I? Yes, 10 years of experience. My phone is probably going to vibrate if it hasn't already. I didn't hear it. It's right below the mic. But yeah, as I say, progressively over the course of the years, getting better and better and more consistent. And it was like, back in the golf club, there was no tempo. The way that I always described it was, you could pull the stick back, keep it in that position, put the controller down, and you could use something to hold the stick. If you could get something to hold the stick in that pulled back position, go make yourself a cup of tea, coffee, get a sandwich, come back, place your thumb back on the stick, pick the controller up, push forward, and you get a perfect swing. 100% power. There was no tempo in that game. Also, as well, for those, I'm going to sidetrack here, because a lot of people, oh my god, just get angry if you don't speed up the shots in ranked matchmaking or anything like that. Oh, you would have had a horrible time back in the Golf Club 1, because they didn't bring in the fast forward until, I believe it was the Golf Club 2. They brought that in, so it was agonisingly slow when the ball would be wanting to trundle its way down a small slope on the greens and the fairways. I'd be sitting there, here. You could actually go off and make yourself a cup of tea or coffee while you're waiting for the ball to come to a stop sometime. But anyway, once again, I digress. But yeah, the Golf Club 2 brought in the tempo swing and stuff like that. It was primitive, I suppose you could say. Took some people a while to get used to, not overly long, but it's built on from there. And correct me if I'm wrong down below, I think it was the Golf Club 2019, yeah, brought in something along the lines of beginner, pro, and master clubs and stuff like that. Something along those lines anyway. I think 2K21 branched off on that again. Where obviously the beginner clubs are going to be the easiest ones they'd shoot, and they get a range, not the longest of, or they get the shortest distance, that's what I'm trying to say. Obviously working up then the highest tier clubs, being the master swing, whatever they were called back then, they would get the longest distance, but they'd be the most unforgiving. Now I always played on the top tier of the clubs and the swing as well, and again, it was just a matter of getting used to it, but could shoot consistent scores. Now you can see as well, if you're paying close attention to the gameplay in the background, like there was a bad shot there, slice it off a bit. I'm not getting perfect swings every single time. I'm 5 under through 7, so obviously I wasn't watching. I was kind of glancing off around the room while I'm talking. So I did get a par somewhere, I think. Yeah, so I don't want to spoil the score, but I got 5 pars in total. I got no bogeys, and again, I have not got 4 perfects across a swing all the time. And you'll notice as well, I do have a tendency to, with the contact in particular, to push or pull. It's always on the closed contact, majority of the time, not always, but majority of the time closed contact with my putts and stuff like that. But I mean, there's a slight push with the swing path off thing, doesn't really affect it all that much. Yeah, fair enough. I made it a fairway there to trundle all the way. But again, as I say, I'm not getting 4 perfects across all the contact, the rhythm, the transition, and the swing path every single shot, and I'm still able to achieve decent scores. Again, I didn't shatter world records in terms of scores here. There's 4 perfects across that one there, decent, got a bit of a rollout. But again, I keep losing my train of thought. But yeah, I'm still able to get them close. I'm still able. You need to learn to take into account what can happen. Like, there's a bit of a close contact. Again, if I had got that 4 perfects, that probably would have been just out, or just perfectly online. Just had enough just to keep it on the outside edge. Another thing that I'm doing, once a puck goes in for me, when I'm playing, I look away from the screen and I'm just spamming X on the controller to get through so that I don't see the leaderboards, because even though I know I'm not going to top the leaderboards, or if I'm having a bad day, I know I'm not going to top them, but if I'm looking at those leaderboards, I say this all the time, that makes me want to chase the birdies. I just play for par on every hole. So what, we 6 under through 8 at the moment. Again, a little bit of close contact on that one. Still leaves me not too bad of a putt. I'm trying to remember, I can't remember if I birdied this one or not. I think I did, but I mean, I've got my putting tips videos for how I put, the methods that I use. This is the main method that I use all the time. Sometimes if I'm really not having the best of days, this hole but yeah, sometimes if I'm not having the best of days, I will bring in the other putting method, which I do describe in that one. This hole, I was tensed. It was squeaky bum. Squeaky bum hole, because this pin location, it usually always screws me up. Now, I did get on, but I don't know what it is with this hole. For some reason, I always have a tendency, majority of the time, to, like, 8 times out of 10, I will hook it left off down that cliff. And I had a feeling that was going to happen. Thankfully, it didn't. I don't think I got the birdie here on this one. I think I just missed it on the right side. So a little bit of a pull on swing path, close contact, just missed just enough to keep it outside. That still confuses me, where on a normal shot, so say your tee shot, your approach shot, whatever, if it's the swing path is on a pull or close contact, it's going to pull it left, and if it's open contact or a push on the swing path, it's going to obviously push it to the right. But yet it seems to vary. It seems to be, from what I can see anyway, unless I'm looking at something wrong, I've said this a good few times, it seems to be off. It seems to be hit and miss as to what way the ball is going to go, but it's enough to take it off its line anyway. Sometimes, say, you can counter that and keep it in mind as well. You can work for that. Like, I mean, there's, going back to the golf club 2, I had a terrible tendency to always kind of have a bit of a pull on my shots. Again, it was whatever way my thumb is, fairly similar to now. There's 4 perfects on that. That's not bad. Straight in the heart of the cup. But all I had to do then was just, right, I can counter that by just aiming a slight bit more right to keep that in consideration. That I know I'm going to pull slightly left. Now, of course, there are times where you go and do that, and then you go and hit a fucking laser, and it doesn't go where you want it to go or where you're expecting it to go. You're like, if I can't do that every bloody time. But like, I mean, here we are on 12th hole, 9 under. I just reset the putt there because I wanted to see that initial bead. I knew it was then going to be about a half out. Again, bit of close contact, but it got it there. So, I say, if you've been watching my feedback throughout the round, on each shot, I'm not playing slow as well. Like, I mean, these guys who are topping leaderboards, shooting amazing scores round after round after round after round, we don't know how long they're playing for. You follow their ghost around. You're not following their ghost in real time. You're not going to sit there potentially for 5 minutes while they work out a shot. The game just plays their shot for you, shows you the shot that they took. We don't know what their thought process was. Right? Okay, this is the wind, this is the lie. Like what I'm doing, checking the ball lie, so on and so forth. So I'll play around and I'll get it done, 15-20 minutes, something like that, in and around. If I'm playing, if I decide to not speed up shots or anything like that, I can easily make a round go for 30, 40, 50 minutes if I want. But we don't know how long those people are playing for. They could easily be taking an hour to play their rounds, making sure that they're getting every shot lined up perfect. There are players as well who will take their time. Like there's Revan and stuff. You'll see on his live streams where he has a controller cam, and I've watched a few of them, and he's looking down, he's making sure, I think it's 2 thumbs on the stick and all that, he's making sure that he has his thumbs perfectly placed on that stick. All I do is, when I do those warm-up shots in the driving range, I'm just making sure that, because I prefer to just look at the screen, look at my golfer, look at what's going on in the game, and I go by feel of how the controller is in my hand. I say I'm playing on Bluetooth now at the moment. I'd say maybe with this round, if I had played it with wired through USB, probably would have been a little bit more consistent with the swing. But another thing as well then that can screw me up while I think of it is, what some people might not realise, say you can shoot fairly decent with, say, Pro Swing, but maybe you struggle on Master. or whatever way around, to be honest. Like, I'll play the Pro Daily Masters, and I have a habit of doing that first, and then doing the did I say Daily Masters? Daily Rank Tours. Or any societies that I'm in, like the Globo, that's on Pro Swing. I think Hogsbreath is Pro Swing as well. I have a habit of playing those first, and then going onto the Masters, onto the Master Swing. Whereas, to be honest, what I should really do is, because when I'm in the driving range, I'm playing on Master Swing. I have my swing defaulted Master Swing, so I should really actually play those first and get them out of the way where I'm warmed up on the Master Swing. Whereas then if I get comfortable and think, I go and switch over to the Pro Swing, I'm like, oh yeah, that's grand, yeah, we're warmed up, this is great. And then I go on to Master Swing, like, ah, crap. I go and I'm hooking it and slicing it and not getting my distances dialed in and stuff like that, all because of the fact that I've warmed up on the range with the Master, dropped it basically back down to an easier setting on Pro, and then I missed this one, right? And then trying to get my brain back in gear that no, we're not playing on Pro anymore, we're playing on Master again. And it's the same as well if you're jumping around, like say if you play Divot Derby and all that stuff. Like, I mean, I think it's Divot Derby is Pro-Am, I think, isn't it? Top Golf and stuff like that. Obviously it's accessible for all players, and so the swing bias and everything is different. So that can all throw you off. Jumping around between different modes can throw you off, and it can certainly throw me off anyway. But going back to just mentioning about the swing bias and stuff like that, like that's basically the biggest change now with this game, is because the core game mechanics and how the game works, like for calculating your distance to the green and stuff like that with elevation, wind, etc., reading the breaks and stuff, it's all basically remained the same over the last 10 years, with tweaks here and there to the swing, like with tempos and stuff like that. And the biggest change basically with this game is the swing bias. And like, there was a shocking swing line there. I just caught a glimpse of it. Yes, the swing bias, where now all it is, instead of having to pull the stick straight down and push back up, it's just slightly angled. For me, I'm playing a fade, so it's slightly down to the right, slightly up to the left. If you're playing a draw, slightly down to the left, up to the right. And if this was still straight up and down, like what I have to do is, because I rotate my controller around in my hands as well, because obviously your puts are more straight up and down, traditional style. And so I'll rotate the right side of my controller forward, so that then, because the natural angle of my thumb is resting on, I know when I pull the stick back, I'm going to be relatively straight, and then pushing forward, going to be relatively straight as well. Yes, I do have my pushes and pulls, as you will have seen throughout this whole round, but then I have to remember then to rotate the controller back, so that my thumb naturally wants to go down slightly to the right and back up to the left, and it might be vice versa if you're playing on draw. That's the biggest change, is just having to rotate the controller. But still, a lot of people are thinking like, oh, how are people able to do this and all this stuff, because it's now a swing bias, it's not straight up and down, when literally, as I say, it's rotating the controller around in your hands. If you want to look down at your controller and take 5 minutes to line up a shot, go ahead, but I do it within a few seconds myself. So I'm around the 18th, kind of working out. I am not taking a pitch shot here, just going to kind of do a lofted. I'm trying to remember, I don't think I needed to do a loft, I think I still went a bit long, but yeah, just pull right back on that. And yeah, as well, I play with no vibration on, so I don't have any of that thing. Now I know you can see the blue circle in the shot feedback, you kind of catch that in the corner of your eye, but even there's the likes of TGC Tours now. I'm on Kinetic at the moment for this season, and yeah, there's no shot feedback in that, although there is a way to be able to see your swing bias and stuff like that. You just shot modifier, you can catch a glimpse of it. But there you go, top of the leaderboard anyway at the moment for today's daily, week 11 day 2 on the Master Swing, 14 under, tied with a fellow Irishman. There's my scorecard there, 5 pars, that's all we got. 1 eagle, sometimes I can get more eagles on the par 5s, and then again there was that par 4 as well, where I didn't take the risk of trying to drive the green in 1, because it was my first round of the day. So was it a fellow Irishman? We went back to the leaderboard. It was indeed. So was it Guz and Bruce? Well done to you, good shooting. But as you'll see now here, it is across all platforms, and I certainly didn't come near. I think it was 68 or something when we cycled through here. There we go, finally get them leveled up a bit more. See, again, that was done also. I don't know if that was, again, like I have no idea if anybody shot lower than me or better than me was using fittings on their clubs. I don't know what archetype they were using, and I don't know if they have fittings on the balls as well to help it spin and stuff like that. So what, 22 under, so I was what, 7 shots off the lead. Now if I had been using any fittings or anything like that, could have shot a lot better. If I had warmed up with a few other rounds, could have shot better. If that was literally my first round of the day, probably would have felt more confident again to say the likes of that par 4 driver than 1 and get an eagle there. Par 5s, if I had been a bit more, again, warmed up, could have gotten them closer and gotten a couple more eagles there as well. So I think if I remember correct, I just kind of sat around in the menus for a minute because I saw, right, I've shot somewhat decent, I'll post the video. So yeah, that's basically the point of this video. Is not like asking the question of, is there cheaters in the game? We all know that there is cheaters in the game, but again, it's a very, very small minority. There is just a lot of us, myself included, a lot of players, myself included, have about 10 years of experience. I could have easily come into this round today and shot 3 under par, struggled to get 3 under par or 4 under par, and I just had a bad day. But again, that's my first round of the day. Now with me recording this commentary and stuff like that, I go into the game and I could easily end up shooting bad on pro. But pretty much I can see now on the timeline, this is where the video is coming pretty much to an end. So I'm going to wrap it up here. If you did enjoy it, I'll say thank you all very much for watching. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to drop it a like. If you have not done so already, or you're just brand new to the channel, do consider subscribing. And I will talk to you all in the next one. Until then, take care, have yourselves a good one, and bye for now.